Redemption involves a movement from the periphery of history to its center. To be on the periphery means to be a non-history-making entity, while movement towards the center renders the same entity history-making and history-conscious. A history-making people is one that leads a speaking, storytelling, and free existence. So wrote the great Gaon Rav Yosef Dov Halevi Soloveitchik, the Rav Zichrono Livracha, in an essay entitled Redemption, Prayer, and Talmud Torah. And now we, the rabbis of Bergen County, have a story to tell you.
This story does not take place a long time ago. It's about today and tomorrow. This story is not just about a faraway place. It's about us and our community right here. This story is not just about people. It's about a people, our people. We each live individual lives, but we also live a common story. We have many homes all around the world, but we also share a homeland. We face a common threat, an eternal hatred, but we are not victims of fate. We are masters of our destiny. Israel, both the modern state and the undying people, is the greatest project ever, and we are all stakeholders in it. We are forever connected to it, and Israel is connected to us. Israel is us. All those connections weave together to tell this story. Your story, my story, our story. Israel needs you. Israel needs us. We are the story. Umi ka'amcha Yisrael, goy echad ba'aretz. And who is like your people Israel, a unique nation on earth.
A country exists because of its people who are prepared to make sacrifices for its existence. Klal Yisrael exists because Avram Avinu was told by Kadosh Baruch Hu, Lech Lecha, and he was prepared to make the necessary sacrifices to begin our national story in Eretz Yisrael. In 1948, Israel's Declaration of Independence called upon the Jews of the entire world to contribute to both its birth as well as its future. The declaration said, "We appeal to the Jewish people throughout the diaspora to rally around the Jews of Eretz Yisrael in the tasks of immigration and upbuilding, to stand by them in the great struggle for the realization of the age-old dream, the redemption of Israel." And that appeal was answered. But now we must ask ourselves, as do our brothers and sisters all around the world, will we continue to respond to that call? Will we continue to join the great struggle for the age-old dream that began with Avram Avinu?
75 years ago, our fathers and mothers renewed our nation upon its ancient soil. They reclaimed sovereignty after its nearly 2,000-year absence. They created a safe and secure place for our people, a state where we can live without being victims. That state would be based on freedom, justice, and peace, as envisaged by the prophets of Israel. Its commitment to equal social and political rights to all its inhabitants was rooted in the proposition that God created all people in God's image. It is the Jewish people's destiny to seek tzedakah and mishpat, the righteousness and justice that must emerge from that most basic of propositions. Hashem has blessed the state of Israel. Shir HaMalos, Yeshuv Hashem, and Shivat Zion, Hayinu Kichom. A song of ascents. When Hashem restores the fortunes of Zion, we see it as if it were a dream.
These 75 years have been truly blessed years. We have witnessed the successful integration of millions of immigrants. A humble group of 800,000 souls at Israel's founding is now a prosperous country of close to 10 million citizens. What was once a struggling economy is now a place of technological innovation and a world leader in many fields. A desert land has been transformed into an oasis filled with water and prosperity. Torah study takes place today on a scale multiple times greater than it has at any other time in our history. It is not just formal study, however. The Torah's values of chesed and tzedakah are lived out in the actions of hospitals, food pantries, and an army whose strength comes not just through its arms, but through its ethics.
We as Americans have been a critical part of Israel's success. America was there for Israel from the time of its founding. America has not just been a critical ally in Israel's defense. America has been a beacon of democratic values that has inspired Israeli democracy. During Israel's early years, the financial contribution made by American Jewry through Israel Bonds and the UJA were critical in establishing Israel's developing economy and infrastructure. The political support that American Jewry has given and continues to give Israel helps Israel in what has been a terribly unfriendly diplomatic environment on many occasions.
We are so proud of our children who have made Aliyah. We are so proud of our children who have served in Sahel, the Israeli Defense Forces. We are so proud of the living bond between our communities and the State of Israel. And we know it's not this simple. Israel is a great state. It's not a perfect state. We have shed innumerable tears for the loss of lives that Israel has been required to sacrifice to continue to survive. The senseless tragedies of these past few months are front of mind for us. We identify with the pain and suffering that those in Eretz Yisrael endure on the front lines. We think especially of Lucy, Maya, and Rena D, to whose memories we dedicate this event.
Israel is a contentious and cantankerous democracy. We have witnessed the anguish of civil strife within Israel in these past months. We know that despite its courageous efforts, Israel has made peace with some, but not all of its neighbors. In this, Israel's 75th year, we continue to respond, not just to the call of Israel's Declaration of Independence 75 years ago on this day, but also to the call of Avraham Yitzchak Kook years before. We do not complain of the dark, but rather we resolve to increase light. We do not complain of evil, but rather work to increase justice. We do not complain of heresy, but rather inspire to increase faith. We do not complain of ignorance, but rather teach to increase wisdom. In the face of senseless hatred, we respond with senseless love.
We commit ourselves to do our part for our people. Israel is not just a place for our hearts. It is a place for our bodies. We will continue to invest days, months, and years of our lives in Israel. Many of us will one day live in Israel. We will support Israel financially. We will engage with Israel's vibrant culture, learning about the modern state of Israel through its film, literature, music, and Torah. We will do so by learning and speaking Hebrew and teaching it to our children. We will advocate for Israel in the halls of government and in the streets of towns like this one, all around this country. In the face of those who oppose it, we will proudly support Israel.
In this 75th year, Davka now, we must speak and live with Achdus. It is now that Rav Kook's vision of Avat Chinam must become operational. We feel Hashem's presence in Israel's story, in our story. We dedicate this day as a time to recommit ourselves to Israel's ideals, a Jewish state for all its people, which can proudly stand at the center of history, as an equal among the peoples of this world, with a unique mission, message, and light to share with all.
Our story matters. It changes the world. It creates pushback and sometimes even hatred. But we are unafraid. We stand in the public square. We thank God for the state of Israel. We are here and we're proud. We celebrate the words of Rabbi Leo D. The Israeli flag is the sign of good. It is the sign of building something worthy. It is about building a better future. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being the story.
To those who say, our bones are dried up, our hope is lost, we say we are here, alive and strong. Od lo avda tikvatenu. Our hope is not lost. We ask that you rise now and wave the flag and join us as we sing our story.
נפש יהודה